Isaiah 40:31. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Are you kidding me? Waiting is going to renew our strength. It is my opinion that waiting is absolutely agonizing. That's all we've done for almost a year is wait. Wait for things to return to normal. I was in line the other day at Chick-fil-A, and they weren't moving quite as fast as they usually do, and I could feel anxiety building up within me. And I got it under control because there was a reasonable assurance that the food was going to be good, because it always is. And so I got through it. And then there was another night about a couple weeks ago. I went into town, Delmar, after work, and it was late at night. I was tired. I was having to pay some bills and go get gas, and the light wouldn't trip. Well, Delmar is not exactly a booming metropolitan, and the light wouldn't trip, and I was stuck there, and I was feeling this anxiety because I wanted to get home. I was tired. It was dark, and a car finally came up behind me, and the light turned, and I was able to get done what I wanted to get done. The most difficult time to wait is when you don't know the outcome, and it's hard to wait. And when you think you have a promise, or you have a promise, and the Lord's just absolutely silent on the matter. Well, in Genesis 12, we can see that Abraham found himself in that position. Abraham was to be the father of many nations. Now, Abraham already struggled, we can see in this chapter, with the idea that God could protect him. He was afraid that Pharaoh would kill him, so he called his wife his sister. And there's a lot of story there, and I don't have time to go into it today, but it caused a big disruption in his house, and anyways, just a bad situation. Well, then in Genesis chapter 16, Abraham makes matters worse. Because of his impatience waiting to be the father of many nations, he takes it into his own hands and handles things his own way. And with the approval of his wife, and that's another story, he has relations with Hagar, and he has a son Ishmael. And we could talk for on great length of all the problems that caused. Well, Abraham was 86 years old at this time. Well, in Genesis chapter 17, Abraham was 99 years old, and he was again promised he was going to be the father of many nations. And when he heard it, he laughed at God. But Abraham had Isaac with his wife Sarah. And then after he had Isaac, the supreme test of faith was presented to him, a supreme test of faith. He was to offer Isaac as a sacrifice. And it is in this supreme test that we can see what has happened to Abraham. Abraham's faith was not rooted in the promise of descendants. How do I know that? Because Abraham would not have been willing to take Isaac to be sacrificed. Abraham was not clinging to his understanding of the promise. He was clinging to the person who made the promise. God could fulfill the promise any way he chose, including raising Isaac from the dead. And we can read in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 19, how Abraham felt about that. Abraham, during the wait, had learned to trust in God. So what does the Lord hope to accomplish by making us wait? Well, I see a couple things. First, to help us learn to be attentive to his voice, to listen for his voice. He hopes to deepen our relationship, for us to become closer to him. It's a time where we can solidify our trust. And it's a time where God can transform us into his likeness. I believe the Lord's ultimate goal is to put us in a position where we want to cling to him rather than an outcome. In the book, The Scars That Have Shaped Me, it's stated this way: God knows what I need. I do not. God sees the future. I cannot. God's perspective is eternal. mine is not. God will give to me what is best for me when it is best for me. So waiting's not just about what I get at the end of the wait, but about who I become as I wait. Use this time wisely. I know waiting can be agonizing, but use this time wisely to get closer to God. Eagle's Nest, be safe.